Hello, I'm Rachel Jacumber. Welcome to CSIR Connect. Today we're coming to you from Knowledge Commons, where the CSIR and the Department of Science and Innovation have partnered on a workshop on the Decadal Plan. This workshop is largely focused on science, technology and innovation priority areas. Please join us for more. Joining us now is Kungeka Jobe from the CSIR. Kungeka, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Great. Kungeka, tell us about the importance of the CSIR playing a role in something as imperative as the Decadal Plan.
Well, the Decadal Plan has to be implemented. CSIR is the implementer of a plan like this. As you can see, our own agenda today covers pretty much every aspect of the Decadal Plan. Just a few responses from our clusters already indicate that we are very much aligned. We are already implementing what is being suggested, but also we have a capability and commitment as a CSIR to rise up to what is required of us. So CSIR is very key because ultimately I think South Africa wants implementation. Yes, the plan is good, but implementation is going to be critical, and that's the role we play.
Great. Tell us about some of the synergies that is emanating in this workshop, especially when it comes to science, technology and innovation.
Well, of course, the Decadal Plan is focused on science, technology and innovation, and it's a policy document, which I'm told, by the way, is going to the Interministerial Committees that involves various ministers as well, in addition to our minister. And this is a really good development because we need all of government to support science, technology and innovation. I think one of the key things, and I really enjoyed some of the responses from the CSIR responding to the inputs already given. And you could just tell that there's already been engagements, there's already been a lot of recognition of the intentions and what is planned by our colleagues at the CSIR. So the synergies are absolutely there. So we bring that perspective of saying, actually, this is what's happening on the ground. And therefore, we hope that what is coming out of today will also inform and shape the final plan.
Great, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, you're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Joining us now is Gugu Zwane from the DSI. Gugu, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Gugu, tell us about the importance of the Decadal Plan for South Africa as a whole.
The Decadal Plan is quite important for our country simply because we have numerous issues as a country, as a third world country, which we think could be solved by science and technology interventions through innovation strategies. So over time, we have focused on other science and technology enablers, but now we're realizing that maybe the role that we're playing is kind of like undertoned, and we could be involved in way more. However, as soon as we started getting feedback from others as well, that why haven't you involved us, because we think you could be involved in this, such as correctional services. They think we could help them as well. We are getting a very good response. What's quite important though is the budgets, making sure that we have funds to do all these things. But more importantly is that as we do that, we need to work collaboratively with other government departments, with state-owned entities such as the CSIR that are our technology experts.
Great. And what kind of conversations do you think workshops like this open up?
It's a great workshop. I realized as we were planning the program, the agenda with the CSIR, how we were thinking in terms of the flow of today's workshop, that we would come from the DSI and said, this is what we have in the Decadal Plan, of course with everybody's contribution, taking into consideration everything else that is in the plan. and the policies that are guiding us, such as the White Paper on Science and Technology of 2019 and other studies. Then the CSIR was, how do we then respond so that we are supportive of this for you as the department that is leading in the science and technology space, but at the same time, not only that, if we do not have those expertise, we can look within the National System of Innovation, where else do those expertise lie? And we are hoping that once we're done with the workshop, we can have those answers that would be enablers for us to move forward and also involve other stakeholders where we see that maybe some of our entities are not able to assist, including over time involving industry and institutions of higher learning and so on.
That's brilliant. Gugu, tell us, when the Decadal Plan is implemented, what can South Africans expect?
It would be great. I think it can shift us to be at a much higher level in terms of participating with other countries. It's work in progress. If that works, definitely this would go far. As everybody is saying, we would want to get to a point where the country's expenditure considered research and development funding to be a priority. And definitely if that it works as planned, it will really change the scope of, or it will change how we look at South Africa in terms of science and innovation.
Great. Thank you for joining us at the CSIR today and for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks.
Joining us now is Dr. Rachel Jacumber from the CSIR. Dr. Jacumber, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Kirosha, and good afternoon to Team CSIR and others who are watching.
Great. Dr. Jacumber, how well do you think South Africa is doing when it comes to science, technology and innovation strides?
I think we're doing really very well. The fact that we're here today talking about a decadal plan on science, technology and innovation, I think shows the seriousness with which we appreciate the role that science, technology and innovation can take and can play in improving the socio-economic fortunes of our country, especially addressing challenges of poverty, unemployment, which is really exacerbated at this time, and inequality. And so I think we're doing well. We have here today a consultation between the CSIR and the DSI on the decadal plan on various thematic topics that we believe are integral to actually seeing innovation find expression in many areas of industrial development, societal development in a capable state. And where we are is such that Cabinet has adopted the decadal plan and we are in a consultation phase before finalization. And I think that speaks to the seriousness with which we are taking the subject of science, technology and innovation.
Great. What would you say is the future of society and the digital economy?
I think the digital economy is here with us, and the future of society in digitalization is one that's going to be integral. When you look at how we are working now, there is a lot of things that are already happening on the digital platform, where the way we access services, the way we access government information has a lot to do with digitalization. The question now becomes, how do we ensure that society at large and communities in remote areas are connected, a space in which the CSIR has a role to play so that they can also access these digital services of government. Another area where there is scope for huge opportunity and growth for South Africa, for CSIR and South Africa, is the whole space of data that is generated in many aspects of life. And how do we collect that data? How do we clean it up, rationalize it? How do we keep it in secure platforms and avail it to not just academia, but also to SMMEs and many others, so that we start to say, what information are we getting from that data? What insights do we derive from it? And what new enterprises that are data-driven can we start to create? And so the future of society and digitalization, I think, is one that's quite integrated, and we're beginning to see it.
Great. I know you have another day ahead of you. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the workshop.
No, thank you very much, Kirosha. Thank you to your audience.
Today's Decadal Plan workshop has shed much light on South Africa's new white paper on science, technology and innovation. And that is where we leave it today. Thank you to our guests for joining us and to you for watching.